Hollow Knight is my favourite game of all time. I believe it's the closest a game can realistically come to perfection. Sure, there are a couple annoying enemies or weird design choices, but none of that gets in the way of the real
meat and taters
of the game. Now, I wasn't hoping for Silksong to live up to the perfection of its predecessor, but I certainly wasn't expecting a fucking step backwards, Team Cherry. What are you doing? Okay. Before you click off in a fit of sheer rage, I just need to make a couple things clear. Silksong is an amazing game and exceeds my expectations in so many key ways. It's overflowing with lovingly handcrafted details, and is in almost every single way a step up in quality and complexity from Hollow Knight. What confuses me, however, are the areas where the game slips up. There are so many small but completely obvious design choices that are in no universe fun or good, and they just make me cringe because this game could so easily be as good as Hollow Knight, but it just isn't. Okay, let's have a wee little chit-chat about some of the more irksome problems. A little disclaimer as I write this script, I'm only like halfway through the game, but I want to talk about this stuff while it's fresh in my mind. Sue me. Okay, my number one irk is the enemy design. Let me just start with a positive. Pretty much every single enemy is a step up from Hollow Knight in almost every way. Their designs and animations are more interesting and creative. Their behaviour and attack patterns are more interesting and diverse. It feels like the game is just constantly throwing new ones at you, so you never get bored. So why is it that Team Cherry is so fucking intent on ruining all of this hard work by making so many of the enemies so fucking annoying? I swear, every other flying enemy is programmed to fly just out of your reach, and when you do try and attack, they just fucking dodge out the way. Oopsie, you wanted a reward for dodging and positioning yourself correctly? Nope, unlucky, try again next time. This fucking game design just incentivizes you to break the game and just kill the enemies through walls, or farm for silk by repeatedly leaving and re-entering a room, or even better, just not fucking fighting them in the first place. Why? It's not fun to have an enemy just decide to dodge your attack with no tell or wind up. It's not fun to try and fight the same flying enemy for 2 minutes straight. It's not fucking fun, Team Cherry. You had flying enemies nailed in Hollow Knight, and there are even a bunch of good ones here. Why did you go and fucking pick a handful to just ruin? And to rub salt in the wound, almost every single ground enemy, apart from some which seem designed to hit chain you by moving to where you're knocked back, but we can gloss over those fucking ants, is perfectly designed. I've never had more fun with regular enemies than in Silksong, so why are the flying ones so fucking annoying? Number 2 is exclusive to early game, and is more baffling and confusing than frustrating. Most of the early game enemies drop bone shards, a currency that both has a cap and is not usable until later when you unlock traps. Now, I don't know about you, but it seems obvious to me that there is a very likely and very idiotic circumstance that could easily be avoided if Team Cherry gave you a trap earlier on. I spent hours not being able to collect any more bone shards and feeling like killing enemies was fucking pointless before I found a trap to use them on. Come on, I swear this is something that should have been fixed as soon as the game was playtested, but I guess not. Number 3, parkour. Now, I would be fine with hard parkour, but why, Team Cherry? Just why did you feel the need to have double damage spikes? Now let me just break something down for you. You start with 5 hearts. About half the enemies in this game also deal double damage. So, if you get hit into double damage spikes by a double damage enemy, that's almost all your health for one mistake. And then you have to play perfectly for 9 fucking hits on enemies just to not even heal back all the initial damage. This is not fair game design, Team Cherry. This is frustrating for the fucking sake of it. Once again, this would be so easy to fix. And it wasn't even an issue in Hollow Knight. The game was perfectly hard before Team Cherry. You didn't have to fucking ruin what could have been an equally perfect sequel. And do not even get me started on those poison pits in Sinner's Road. Please, let's just ignore that. Before the last one, let me do a speed round of tiny but really stupid design choices. Bosses, where the second phase is the only interesting or challenging part. Long ass boss runbacks. Looking at you, Last Judge. Grindy side quests. Come on, Team Cherry, you're better than that. Overly tanky enemies, underpowered and underwhelming charms. The downslash being almost unusable with certain stances, making parkour impossible. Looking at you, Beast Stance. Where the fuck is my nail upgrade? Why is every single area depressing? The starting area is by far the nicest yet. Why did you make me learn the new down slash just to give me the old one back and not incentivize the new one? Boss spawning enemies is never fun, especially when the enemies deal double damage, and this happens all too much. And finally, why is it so easy to fall miles near the start and lose all your progress? This happened an embarrassing amount of times to me, and it never feels good. This is not Jump King Team Cherry, it doesn't have to be a rage game just because of the vertical map. Ah. One last thing, and this is a small one. Why, oh why, does every single bench have to be paid? It just leads you to having to backtrack and farm for money, wasting your time. But here's the kicker, most enemies don't even drop the right currency, so for some benches you have to spend about 10 minutes scavenging for spare change like some fucking beggar. I don't want to grind for my checkpoints, Team Cherry. Now, the funny thing is, this system is used in the Underworks perfectly. The area is supposed to have this capitalist vibe where the workers are pushed and constantly fed lies to keep them complacent. And having to pay for benches and maps makes sense here, same as the enemies dropping what amounts to pocket change. It puts you in the worker's shoes and makes you genuinely worry if you're going to go broke and never escape. Now, why was this same deliberately bullshit system used everywhere else in the game, when it wasn't even an issue in Hollow Knight? It escapes me, I don't know what they were thinking. Come on, Team Cherry. Jesus, I sound like I hate this game. I don't. I really don't. I love it. I've been hooked for days. It's just, sometimes I get so goddamn frustrated about these little details, because they're just so easy to fix. And I don't even know why they thought of them in the first place. Anyway, that's pretty much why Silksong confuses me. Catch you in the next one.